All right, here we go again. Buckle up. Rough roads ahead. So something happened recently, like in the last hour and a half. I've been observing it from a quiet position. And it could just be Satan, but I have to report it so you understand what they're doing to cause psychological disability and psychological illness to the point that somebody might act out. Oh, wait. I'm going the wrong way. Right. Might act out violently. Again, I'm not speaking about myself as far as acting out violently. Right. Okay, so I told you about having vehicles shine lights on the victim's vehicle so they're in the rearview mirror. So part of the psychological torture is to alter it some way and say, ha ha ha, now we're not doing it that way, we're doing it this way. That's definite. That's definitely a spycraft, a criminally operating and intentioned spycraft operation technique. It's not testing somebody, it's using clinical psychology weaponized to cause psychological illness, to cause mental illness. Right? These people that are wanting to lock people up and commit them all the time, they're part of it. They're mad because we have a social safety net and protections for people. But they're the ones that are causing the mass shootings, the majority of them, using the techniques and methods I'm speaking about, and all the other crimes of that nature. So I was over at Kohl's, and there was Olathe PD vehicles. No big deal. They're there. Who knows why they're there? Right. But there was a strange vehicle at the edge of the parking lot with its lights on. Of course, not sitting the way I say it usually sits. Still, maybe nothing. But what that does is that begins to lend official credibility to the criminally intentioned and criminally operated spycraft psychological torture operations. So then I get over to this Walmart, come out. There's a guy angled again in a different angle, but directly at my vehicle. And one of the things they do to let you know, yeah, it's about you, is they leave when you leave. So again, I don't know if that was it, but that's one of what they used. Now, there's another part of that as far as what the psychological result is and what they're looking for their victim to begin to see it everywhere. Then it's everybody and anybody that has their headlights on. Like I came out and there was a vehicle actually pointing its headlights towards me, but it was just a family loading up their vehicle. Now, how does that happen? Witchcraft. And of course, they brought a couple of license plates past me. Now, again, because you put them out there, Satan may be assisting you and doing that part. Again, when I moved in, I told you the plates weren't here. And no, it's not an investigation. And no, it's not okay that you're murdering someone, all of you. In fact, in some cases, by trying to murder their victim psychologically, the victim acted out and engaged in mass shooting. So remember, when you're voting against Donald Trump, you're voting against that, but it left to be seen whether Kamala Harris will stop that. Again, Biden's not going to stop it. Thank you, Larry. So again, I don't know if that was all just Satan, right, or whether it was a psychological operator, right, lending official credibility to the psychological assassination, the racketeering, the organized crime, the foreign spies, so on and so forth. Now, like I told you, I don't swap spit with people like that, no matter how in you think I am. Everybody has a right to their own sanity, and you have no right, even for 1 second, to attempt to disrupt it, no matter what bullshit you tell the world about what you're actually doing. They'll go to hell for it. There's no doubt. Now, let's see if somebody broke in while I was away from my home. That'll be the next operation, if they in fact did it. Then lending official Olathe PD credibility to the break-in of my apartment by a connected spycraft succession of events. So that's what you need to look for when you investigate it. Thanks, sir. And again, it may be about the N-word person. Again, some of what I've worked on has been civil rights, and it is about that. They'll make it about something else, but of course it's not. And that's how criminals operate. That's how the cartel operates. That's how foreign spies operate. That's how you operate. Is that who you really are, all of you? Because they told you that's what Jesus wants you to do? That's that, bro. We'll just open up my interview room all across the world. You'll have fun for weeks on end in my interview room. Yeah, sealed. You'll be telling on yourselves within days. Everybody keep your eyes and ears open. They're going to tell on themselves. Heal yourselves from that. Heal. So it's only them that are affected by it because they'll do the reversal. The closer we get to election, the more corrupt the corrupt police departments will become. So look for that. Not saying that you are. Just checking you out. So again, the I don't believe the I wanted to bring this up. I don't believe the electoral vote that we see where it's real close. The one that like Michael Moore quoted and a couple of the others, because what happens is when they calculate that, it takes a while to catch up. It's slower than like 57% to 40 whatever it was, 42% or whatever chance of winning. Right. That says the electoral vote's different. So it's not jiving. Right. So I believe the electoral vote should change within a week or two to match that 57%, 42%. Because the way they calculate it, it takes a while to catch up because it's using historical data. Recently, so if there's a change like there is now, I mean, there's a lot of weird stuff coming out of Trump's world, and people may be shying away from it. Again, some people may be deciding to make it that. And some people will never tell you they're voting for anybody, let be Trump. So they'll say, I'm undecided. Because they know somebody could be listening on their phone. There's corruption everywhere. They're not only taking down the addresses of people that are voting for Harris, they're listening on wiretaps to the N-word person or the N-word lover. So again, that's an investigation that needs to be engaged in that community where that sheriff is. He should slow down at this point because it probably is apparent that it could be under federal investigation at this point. Correct. But you have to historically look at his records, see who was wiretapping. And you may want to come in. I guess no. I think he suspects it at this point, but you could send somebody in and see if they'll wiretap you. Right. Who am I speaking to? The Civil Rights Division of the Justice Department and the FBI that works with them. Hopefully, they receive it. Right. Is my volume up here? Is it working? Yeah, it's working. Oh, look, Lenny's apologizing to me. I meant more Len Road. Lenny's saying he's sorry. I don't know if he's dead or alive. He should be alive. He's a pretty healthy guy, right? Again, it's like John Leonard Orr. The investigators are causing the illness of crime and then saying that the person shouldn't be engaged in crime, right? But of course, he was starting the fires, right? Which again, that is similar to. Yeah, they have mental illness, and that's the goal of making somebody else mental ill. The little girl, she was crazier than a loon, but yet her goal was to make everybody else crazier. By that, it was obvious that I didn't know, but the people that I was helping that were under duress from that, right? They, I help working. I wouldn't write the letter, but I told him he didn't need it, and he didn't need it. Right? Very late in the investigation, he wanted me to write a letter of support. I said, "You got enough letter. I don't." And actually, if I wrote it, they may have actually did something to you. See, I knew that I was on the outs. You did, right? Or he did. Right. I help working all the time. I would question computer questions. I help with computer stuff all the time. Right. If I was one of them, I wouldn't have. I'm like, you're doing it now, Jim. Maybe I'll go to jail. Yeah, Jim Workman was a victim, a little girl. So I guess spies were attacking him, but not like they did me. I mean, they took my whole family out. See, I was on a case with that one guy, Ricks, right? And I suspect they had some input, some rich people. Right? We did a seizure thing. It was real quick. But boy, she was mad at us. But yet, Ricks's life had some issues shortly thereafter. But he had a good wife, good in-laws, right? Helped him survive. I think it was them. I think it was the doctor and his daughter. Right. Actually, the doctor was probably too old for it to be him. I think it was a doctor. It was a medical supply company case. She was mad. The Florida deputy really sees some stuff. We just went in and posted something. I forget. I gave her something notice. Right. Maybe we delivered the paperwork from Florida. I can't remember. It's a high rise, like almost a penthouse, if not a penthouse. Right. I agree there. No, people like that are like that. I told you, your cops may get attacked, and they'll say, "Oh, we're attacking them because the cops are crook." But the cops actually, pulled over somebody like that, and they get mad when they get pulled over. They'll hire these Weinstein people to take out the cop, like they're doing to me. And then bribe other cops and stuff into it. You want to know what else? What else I know? There's great deputies that were victims of that woman. Right? Their lives would have been better if she never existed in the monster. If she would have been put out like she was supposed to be. I mean, somebody like that's supposed to be put out very quickly. Mm-hmm. And her and her big sister. I heard Big Sister. Somebody was telling me, like, I would shut down stuff. They would talk about Jonathan Luna's lady friend. I don't want to hear it. I'm not part of that. I don't really know that person. They put themselves in my life, not me putting myself in their life. Right. And then they would say stuff about Big Sister. They said Big Sister's. I may have said this before. They said Big Sister's. She shot somebody during an attempted escape, supposedly at a medical appointment. And I don't know what, because I shut them down. I said I don't want to hear it. I don't want no information about people. I'm not like that. I don't need it. Right. But they were saying that the shooting, there was questions about the shooting. Like, I don't know what the questions were. Because in the Marshal Service, you kill somebody or shoot somebody, you become a hero and your career's made. And no matter how crazy you go, they generally accept you, you know? Right. Now, there was not nepotism, what do they call it? Fraternization, all sorts of stuff she was involved in. Right. Getting close to the election, they're coming around me with the plates. Who am I speaking to? Civil Rights Division of the Justice Department. And the Criminal Division. Right. Now they could just be out there more. I don't know. Right. They weren't here before I arrived. Right. Now they're not investigative. They're murderous, designed to drive people crazy. Right. That person would appear to be trying to get me to speed up if they're part of it. I mean, it could just be something weird. Right. And then if they get me to do that, eventually they'll have one of their cops sit on the side of the road. Right. And then give me a ticket when that person turns off. Right. Or, when you see sometimes, well, that other person was speeding. Well, that person's deep state. And they got you to speed. Spycraft operator. Actually been around you for like 3 months trying to get you to go faster at like 2 miles an hour at a time. My George. Where am I going? I'm giving you people enough time to get out of my apartment. I don't have to stop. I'm just oracle what they're putting into thought. There's nothing to stop because it's bullshit. Like if I stop doing something, they'll increase what they're doing. So they go, stop. You only have to stop something, and then they'll increase it. If I stop speaking out completely, they attack me 7 times as hard. Oh, because we're trying to get you to tell on yourself. No, you'll be telling on yourself, buddy. I told you everything I knew. And it's, of course, what you didn't want to hear. So they torture my wife to get her to hate me. Torture my mother to get her to hate me. They tell me families are off limits. What a bunch of assholes. A bunch of weirdos. Heal your schools. They're showing up more and more. Probably means your schools need to be healed. Trying to think if there's anything in the news to indicate that. Oh yeah, the school shooting, of course. Heal your schools. It's coming up. It might be coming up again. Everybody, heal all your schools as you're supposed to be doing. You're not supposed to be lazy pieces of shit or love money so much because it costs you $50 a month to heal schools that you don't do it. Oh my God. You're supposed to be healing your schools, but what you'll find is you'll have to pay for it somehow. No, they don't. The system doesn't make you billionaires when you heal a school, right? Or multimillionaires, but it stops your school shootings. I'll put the alert out when I get home. Whoever that is running that touched their glasses, I don't know if they're part of it or not. That person's in danger of being run over while running. And I guess you know what the reality is, because he's dark, like he doesn't have lighting on or reflective. People will project that. Well, that son of a guy, because I mean, maybe they got scared because he ran by and they only saw him last second or something, and they'll curse that person that get hit by a car. People are bizarre, man. This is the reality of the world and why it's going the direction it's going. So I suspect the electoral vote has already changed. It just isn't the way they calculated it. It includes recent historical data. That historical data is going to probably change because with the electoral college that Michael Moore spoke about and the one that I posted earlier, the 57% chance of winning doesn't make sense unless that's wrong. Because that electoral college wouldn't say 50%, 57%. It would say like 54, 53, something like that. I could be wrong, but I'm usually right. Because actually, I don't know this. Hashem's probably putting it in my mind. They're all phonies. They know the system does everything for them. Right. And when they block everybody else from reaping the rewards of the system when it's time to pay them. And then they get paid to block the up for the other person. Again, the planet's rated as satanic at that point. Am I agitated? No, you're trying to agitate me. Oh, what? What? Isn't that weird? Aren't they weirdos? They try to agitate someone and then they say they're agitated. No, it's weirdos. They're all weirdos. Believe me. About 35% of cops are weirdos. Used to be 25%. Now it's 35. You're so weird earlier. So like this woman, she's a really nice woman here. I mean, she could be bait for all you know, but she's a nice person. I talked to her a couple times. A little younger than me. Back and the dog at me, and she's pulling on the dog. I'm like, oh God, the dog sees me. She doesn't. It's weird because there's 3 or 4 dogs that have the same exact look, and the women look similar. It took me a while to figure out who was who. But, like, I go to pet the mean like, all the other dogs are mean. This girl's dog is nice. But they all look alike, so I go to pet I mean, it's gotta be Satan. So I go to pet all the mean dogs thinking it's the good dog. It took me a while to figure out who everybody was. And it's like, "Ah!" I'm like, "Ah!" Finally, I even told her, I said, "Your dog's nice, but there's a bunch of dogs that look exactly like your dog, and they're mean. And I go to pet them, and they attack me." I'm like, "Oh, I apologize. Sorry, I didn't know your dog was an idiot." Thank you, sir. The sting operation should pick up in preparation for the election. Horrible on our vehicles. So I wash her vehicle and my vehicle real quick. I mean, I'm not wiping it down with soap or anything. I rinse off. I rinse off the breezeway and the sidewalk. It just gets so nasty over here because of the oak trees. Right. So I keep clean. And then the breezeway, because we're close to the woods, a lot of the bugs will come in like at this time of night because the breezeway is warmer. Well, of course, they're bugs and they don't know at 2 a.m. it's going to be too cold to live. So they all die in the breezeway. It was nasty. We had a bunch of cicada carcasses in there. That's when I started cleaning it. I mean, that's a little too nasty. But there's mold and all sorts of stuff in there that you got to scrub off. Right? I don't know how far into the season I'll clean it, but definitely until probably the oak tree sheds completely. It's just so much more pleasant when it's clean. A lot of people around here, a lot of traffic. Who's this person? One of my neighbors? My neighbor. Everybody's converging on the homestead. Well, I'm hungry. I gotta make some Indian food. I'm hungry. Right, you have to increase the sting operations related to the election. This is a good time because they're all hyped up. Just will violate some rights. All right, stay peaceful. Praise God, and all that you do, praise God.